Society has conditioned you to believe that being alone is a sign of failure. We are told that if we aren't surrounded by friends or constantly connected to the digital noise, something is wrong with us. But the great Stoics, from Seneca to Marcus Aurelius, knew a different truth. They knew that the most dangerous man in the room is the one who is perfectly comfortable being alone. Why? Because he cannot be manipulated by the fear of rejection. He cannot be bought with the promise of belonging. To be alone is to be free. Today, we are breaking down why solitude is the ultimate training ground for a savage mindset, and how being alone actually makes you stronger than the crowd. The death of external validation. The first reason being alone makes you stronger is that it kills your need for external validation. When you are always with others, you subconsciously adjust your behavior to fit their expectations. You seek their pat on the back and their approval. But in the silence of solitude, there is no one to perform for. You are forced to look in the mirror and face the only judge that truly matters, yourself. A Stoic uses isolation to build an internal compass. When you don't need a crowd to tell you that you are doing well, you gain a level of confidence that no one can take away from you. Point 2. The mastery of self-reflection. Second, being alone provides the space for radical self-reflection. Most people use noise to drown out their own thoughts because they are afraid of the truth. They are afraid of their regrets, their fears, and their weaknesses. But you cannot fix what you refuse to face. Solitude is a laboratory where you can analyze your own mind. You begin to see your patterns, your triggers, and your potential. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. In solitude, you take control of the paintbrush. You stop reacting to the world and start designing your character. Point 3. Building emotional independence. Third, solitude builds emotional independence. Most people are emotionally fragile because their happiness depends on others. If their partner leaves or their friends ignore them, their world collapses. They are puppets, and the world holds the strings. When you spend time alone, you learn that your peace of mind is an internal job. You realize that you are enough. You stop needing and start choosing. This makes you a predator in the world of strategy. You only enter relationships and partnerships because they add value, not because you are desperate for an escape from yourself. Point 4. Uninterrupted focus and deep work. Fourth, being alone is the only way to achieve elite levels of focus. In 2026, attention is the most valuable currency. The crowd is constantly distracted by drama, gossip, and trivial trends. By isolating yourself, you create a sanctuary for deep work. Great empires, great books, and great businesses are not built in committee meetings. They're built in the dark, in lonely rooms, by people who are willing to sacrifice their social life for their mission. Solitude is the price of greatness. If you want what the 1% has, you must be willing to do what the 99% are afraid to do. Walk alone. Point 5. The test of character. Finally, being alone is the ultimate test of character. It is easy to be a good person when everyone is watching. It is easy to be disciplined when you have a coach or a boss over your shoulder. But who are you when no one is looking? Solitude reveals your true self. If you can stay disciplined, stay focused, and stay virtuous when you are completely alone, then your character is real. It is not a mask. It is your core. This is the foundation of the Stoic, invincible soul. Once you have mastered yourself in the dark, you can lead anyone in the light. Do not fear the silence. Embrace it. Use your time alone to build a mind that is so strong it becomes its own kingdom. You don't need a crowd to be powerful. You need a purpose, and you need the discipline to follow it when the world isn't looking. Move in silence, work in the dark, and let the crowd wonder how you became so strong. Subscribe if you are ready to master the art of solitude.